Hey, welcome to a new episode of First Impressions Reviews. I'm Kalen May, also known as Rearbox. This is a review for Bigger Games, which I'll drop a link below once the review is released. And this is for Moon Hunters. This was a game that I actually backed on Kickstarter. It's made by the same developers as Shattered Planet. I think they're Montreal based. A company called Kitfox Games. What it is it's an odd little thing where basically you're forging stories. It's not so much the if you win or lose, it's what story you want to tell today. If you want to be a good person to everyone, if you want to be flirty, if you want to be kind of menacing, if you want to be psychopathic, you know, that kind of thing. And then by the end you end up as a constellation in the skies. Depending on your actions, which these can actually unlock a few things, I think. Anyway, so online's apparently in beta, which when I do the written review, that'll be included of the current state of online. Fortunately, when I backed on Kickstarter, I backed on a tier where I got 2 copies, so I've thrown one to a friend of mine, and I won't do a recording with him because he doesn't like this kind of setup, but what I'll do is I'll be playing through with him online for at least one turn, and then I'll write as is. I don't know how long this session's going to be actually, because I don't know how long this game is. I think it might be really short. Anyway, let's dive in. So yeah, this was one thing that kind of confuses me a bit, but I think it's down to if I had a gamepad. Sadly, for some reason, I don't know why, but controllers don't work with my PC, so I have to use keyboard and mouse. So far, like, there's the Spellblade, which is quick, ritualistic, which is ranged, druid, which is wild, and witch, which is more strong. And then there's 2 more that I haven't unlocked, which is Sun Cultist and Songweaver. Anyway, so with that, let's go with a witch. So let's go with a slightly tempted to go with yellow because it's slightly less menacing, like as though she's not going to cut my head off, but no, it's blood magic, so red. Confirm. Let's get going. Let's tell a story. So I can either be I can be from the Dust Folk, where I want to try to get water, so I survive the harsh summers, or I hide in the woods. In this case, I think I'm gonna go with in the dust.
Perhaps you've met them in a dream. The heroes that walked among us. Their stories taught us how to endure difficult times. For generations, we looked to them for strength, guidance. Journeys end, but stories live on. Long ago, in this land we call Asari, our heroes were just travelers trying to find a way home.
I'm really sorry about the volume. I did some tests and I thought it would be a lot louder, but we're nearly out of water. We need to find somewhere to camp before the first moon feast tomorrow. Oh yeah, that's my Kickstarter little trophy. I got a black cat. So my abilities, I can stab. Boop. There's a blood beam. Shoot blood at him. And I can charge forward, knocking. So charge and the blood beam cost mana up there, and quick stab stone. So one thing that I actually found quite interesting watching the opening cutscene was I actually had no idea. Ooh, who's this? Talk. No feel lost, I pray, in the general direction of the Silver Sister and the Pale Dancer. They guide my path to my next holy sculpture. Yeah, hello. Yeah, greetings work too? Kinda reminds me of the Secret World, where I had a huge problem with how NPCs would tell you their life story on a whim randomly, and it always felt odd. Can you share some of your water? Please, I don't have much. Nah. I understand you can't spare anything. Safe travels. Tell my family Chemosh did his best. Give him this letter. I gained wisdom and letter from Chemosh. You'll see how that plays off in a bit. Because that wisdom thing comes into play when camping, and we'll get to that before the end, hopefully. What are you? But yeah, so what I found interesting was I actually recognised who did the narration, and at least I think I recognise it. I think it's Tanya, who's the I'm tempted to say head developer at Kit Fox, but if I'm wrong, I'm in trouble. But basically, she's the person who tends to deal with community relations the most. Like, she. Do you want to camp for the night? Yes. And yeah, that's her doing the voice acting. And she does tend to be the person who deals with presentation stuff as well. Like, anything to do with community, she seems to handle. I'm sure she has other roles inside, like maybe programming. Even the small children are named Kubili, whose strength seemed blessed by the Queen of Heaven. I should have really picked a new name. Seems safe up here. Let's set up camp. Ooh. Okay, so this is what I meant. So, so these explain the ability scores perfectly. Fortunately, I think you get boosted if you do these various things. I don't think I have anything I could cook with as much as I'd like to. No, I've got flour, rice, water. So water plus rice. Yes, I want to cook them. You mix the ingredients together, and fluffy rice. Everyone gets +3 endurance. Let's pack up. We're nearly home now. So keep in mind, you have all 4 players doing their own thing as well. I mean, there's also the situation where all 4 players are picking different conversational options as well, so I'm curious how that plays into it, and I guess I'll find out when I play it with the friend that I know. Let's get the moonlight out of these opals, shall we? Ah, okay, so you can spend these points and get bonuses, but I am a poor person, so... Oh! Blood charge uses less stamina. I mean, preferably I'd like puncture. Puncture of pulse. So I'll save up. Turkey! Maybe someone can teach you to speak with animals. Ooh! If you played Divinity Original Sin, it's basically one of the most recommended things you should do is pick a feat. Wait, where did my cat just run off screen? What? Hang on, let me double check. So, yeah, there's cat. Run off screen. Wow, cosmic cat. You truly are a black cat. Give letter. Blast the man is travelling. Knew it'd be the end of him. The Keat Keeper. Rolls off the tongue. Suppose his funeral will wait after the festival. I'm wise. So, yeah, this is something that I really enjoy. That the fact they require you to do certain things to activate certain conversation options. Pigs everywhere! Yay! I want to speak with the animals. Can someone? Okay. Not yet. Ah, you seem like a good person. A Chemosh died in the desert, never came home. His poor wife, all she has now are those Keats. What? What are Keats? I really... What are Keats? I'm sure it's not something this setting's made up. Like, I'm sure it's me just being stupid, to be honest. Okay. What was I was going to say as well? Yeah, let's go. The villager's been looking forward to this.
The village gathered to feast and watch the moon rise. Everyone sang into the darkness to welcome the full moon. But she didn't rise. The singing stopped. Panic spread across the village.
Okay, that was oddly felt a bit cut off, but I could have. I don't know if it even faded to me, but what do you plan to do? Ask other tribes. Maybe the sun cult is to blame. Yeah, so that's the main story. From what I can tell, it's what was told in the Kickstarter, that basically one day the moon just does not rise. Did you deliver my letter? Yes, I did. You should forgive me. I'm restless no more. Aha! Spirit speaks in a tongue that sounds like wind over sand. Yeah, so one day the moon does not rise, and because you worship the moon, that's horrible and horrifying in every sense of the word. So you try to find out what might have happened. Wait, why are these the two options? Like, you're a blood wizard, right? Why, at this point, why would you have a problem with, like, blood magic? Protest, I guess? It is with the sun cult near, it is essential to the safety of the Great Mother that you guard this knowledge. Do you understand? Yes. To speak with the Great Mother in times of need, our ancestors would journey to the Moon Temple and touch an image of the new moon first, then the full moon, then the crescent. I know not where the temple lies. I hear it moves in each lifetime. I hope you can find your fixes. Okay, so I think that's alluding to the environments are actually procedurally generated. Let's get like that. These are opals. Increases stamina when you hit. Ooh, that's pretty good. Yay! So, yeah, so I've been advised to go... Yeah, I can steal eggs! That's good. And I stole their mushrooms as well, and I can now cook with them. Wait, what? There goes Cat! Cat's done. The cat appears again. Wow! Speeds in a tongue like wind over sand. How could you leave me to face this alone? I appreciate you're probably trying to help, but the wolf clan needs some time to fix itself. Times I need each child must find its own source of strength. As my daughter Vanessa went to visit my mother out in the forest and hasn't returned yet. Maybe she got lost without the moon. Okay, so... Ooh, sun... Let's go see if the Sun Cult did this. No! Okay, so I need to be more careful about tapping space. Otherwise you just... Oh. The cave offers rest from the burning sun, but judging by decoration, someone may live here. Woman glad. Go away, this is my home now. You do not belong here. Flatter? You're just like the men of my tribe, all plus the affection when it suits you. No, your charm is not welcome here. Goodbye. Okay. Ah! Go! Shoot. Ah, we're on... Yes! God damn, that's actually really powerful. At least up to the point that it lasts. Ah, fuck it. Sorry, I shouldn't curse under my breath. Oh, my stabs were hit now. Sorry, I thought he was missing. But no, yep. You can now cook with cactus! I mean, the nice thing is when I'm picking up these ingredients, there's like a system in place where actions I do on this playthrough will continue on for future playthroughs. Like, if I've understood it correctly, I've now got eggs that I can use, and cactus, and I think one other food type I can use for future journeys. What is this? I don't need to do that yet. Let's see if I can survive a bit more. Okay. So, I mean, so far, oh, yeah, random encounter. So basically, I'm now stuck in an arena. Right now, I've got to be really careful. Just hope I don't die on my journey. Which is, now I think about it, might really be possible. Oh god! Let me run. Ah! Sorry, I may die here. This was a bad plan. Okay, so I just died, crawled to safety, and now I'm at a cooking space, so that's really handy actually. Water plus flour. Yes, I want to cook this. You mix it together and you make bread! Specifically flatbread. I get extra endurance. As dawn breaks, a figure approaches the camp. King Madog, I'm mispronouncing that probably, announces that the righteous sun has hereby vanquished and destroyed the tempestuous moon. All tribes are graciously allowed to swear fealty to King Mado. You, however, must die. Prepare yourself for annihilation in 3 dawns from now. Why? King Mado has worked in secret for years to lead us towards a new age of enlightenment and civilization, an age of the sun to unite all the tribes. You represent the old ways of idols, chaos, and anarchy, but there is only one truth, and he shall triumph. It is written. The cultist swaggers into the door. Could the Queen of Heaven really be destroyed? Surely there is another explanation. Maybe 3 days remaining. Ah, okay, so basically, if you die, you lose opals, which are used for abilities, but you also lose what might have been else in that area. And I'm curious if they also end up locking off content, like if there was something that was meant to be on this island, which I now can't access because I died. But, oh well. Let's push on. We got another 10 minutes, I'd say. 5-10 minutes, so I don't know if enough to... I'd be surprised if it's enough to complete this, but... Oh, what's that? Tab. Hang on. I don't know what that means. I really wish they would explain what that meant. Hunting causes a unique savage pleasure which we are born to desire. Ooh. Give me those gems. Nom 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 nom. Oh no! Oh no! Steal it! You snatch a piglet, the others squeal in confusion. Boars spring from the brush to defend their territory. Would you like to replace your familiar with the new one? Yeah! I want a piglet! I welcome the new companion. I do not, however, welcome its rather innocent boar friends. Ah, now I've got a piglet. And it... Oh! Is that what they do? They give like bonuses to particular abilities, or ability scores, or like now I regen my mana faster or something. I don't know. Kind of really hope there's like a long cat in this, like not just a black cat, long cat. Dancing flame gives no heat, yet seems to whisper as they burn. Perhaps they could be powerful weapons. Listen to them. Burning for freedom, open the gate. The whispering stops and the flames flare before disappearing. Okay. Something about opening the gates. I mean, one thing that I think is really interesting about this game is they give you 6 characters to play with. Ooh, that was good. I think, if I recall correctly, there used to be a... sorry, just quick tangent. There used to be an interesting bug where this beam used to look kind of bacony, and it used to pretty much be dubbed the bacon beam. Ah, I so wish they put the bacon beam back in, or rainbows, or something silly like that. Ooh. Blood charge uses less stamina. That's not useful for me. Ooh, what was that? Stab in 3 directions at once. Okay. Yeah, so the fact they have 6 characters and not 4 strikes me as interesting because one thing that's really nasty in like 4-person co-op games is when you kind of have the third wheel problem, I would dub it, where everyone's kind of picking everything they want, and then the last person to the party is just forced to take what's remaining. And that's kind of really sad in a way. Like, I hate situations like that. Like for instance, Payday 2 used to have that problem where you would be either Houston, who used to be called Hoxton, Dallas, Wolf, or Chains, and there was no one else, like no one like Clover, no one like Bonnie, no one like Christ, what's the Croatian guy's name? Ooh, a flank challenge. Nah, I don't remember, but basically you get, I hope it's kind of understood what I roughly mean, just like they would lock you down and then they added more. Vermintide currently has this problem where you either actually no, it doesn't have that problem because it has 5 heroes, not 4, so it circumvents that. And to be honest, this game originally did have that problem. I'm gonna regret this. Yeah, like originally there were no unlockable classes. Originally, from what I can tell, based on the Kickstarter, there were only 4 classes. There were no Sun Cultist, there was no Song Songweaver. But then, well, the funny thing about pledge goals is you can end up with situations where you do have these new characters. So, come on, come on. Thank you. And good going, Boar. Good going. Okay. Wow, this is gonna end well. And considering the time we're on. Whoa! No! No! Ooh, made it. Yeah, money. Yeah, I was about to say, considering the time we're on, it might be good timing for me to fail in that combat, but yeah, I'll get to a campsite and then we'll get this closed. Okay? Seems fair. There should be a campsite around here. In fact, while I'm playing, trying to find a campsite, I may as well start closing. So, actually no. Yeah, I may as well. So, as it is, it's a game that I believe is going to be very dependent on how much it costs, and if you can play with friends, and what kind of crowd you play with, and things like that. Oh god. I need to get back to the prayer temple, because I've nearly died. So, because the game this reminds me of the most is the Yawhg, which funny enough, the same composer, Ryan Roth, worked on both this and the Yawhg, and Christ, it kind of shows. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of does show. Well, it actually it kind of doesn't, but I'm sorry, I'm not making much sense about that. Yeah, ignore that. So yeah, I mean, this reminds me heavily of the Yawhg because it's a game about making a story, not so much about making about winning. And you can win and you can lose technically, but even in, I get the feeling this is going to be a type of game where even in failure it's enjoyable. You know, you forged a story, like and that it's also a game intended to play multiple times and preferably with others. Where it differs from the Yawhg the most, and I think this is going to be somewhat crucial, is that it doesn't hold you down. Perhaps someone more foolish would barge right in. It doesn't hold you down and forces you to play it as a multiplayer game. Sadly, Yawhg does. But rather instead says, okay, if you want to make a story on your own, you can do that if you really wish. And I don't think anything has really been lost, from what I can tell, from doing it on my own. And a camp. They say that when the Sun Cult threatened Kublai, she devised 100 different plans for their downfall. Kublai was known to be secretive, her true face hidden. Huh. Okay. I don't know what I did to do that. Wait, is that? Do you ever feel that perhaps we aren't the heroes of this story at all? Do you know what I mean? Yes. And let us pray to the real hero, the Great Mother, for our call, courage, and abundance to grow. Briefly, a vision of your shared ancestors shimmers by the firelight. I must get back to the village before the elder starts to panic. Perhaps I will embark on a journey myself someday. You have unlocked the ancestral druid costume for future adventures after this one is complete. Yay! Let's cook. So, egg plus flatbread. Come on, egg sandwich. Egg sandwich? No! Egg tart? Okay, I didn't expect that. 2 days remaining. Okay, we're at the half an hour mark, so I really hope that I don't know how to quit. Okay, I think you might have to do it in like in a land or at the campsite, and I'll do that off camera. So I mean, the comparison to the Yawhg is going to be the big push of if you will like Moon Hunters or you won't. If you want a game that is, if you want a longish game, if you're looking for a game with a challenge to it, if you want a game that'll push you to the edge of your seat as you kind of like co-op to fight a greater evil, this is not the right game. This is a game about forging a story. And if making a story appeals to you, fantastic. Moon Hunters is completely up your street. The combat is a bit simplistic. Maybe it's because of it's probably personal taste, to be honest, but I would have liked a bit more of a stronger RPG element, a leveling mechanic, but I like leveling stuff, so most likely the purchase of the purchase of improved skills will be okay for this, as well as the different abilities. The story itself so far is pretty good. It's kind of interesting that they've dabbled a bit in humor, like remembering that they shouldn't just bore everyone to tears with like adventure all the time. You know, they also have downtime as well. The camping thing is absolutely fantastic, and I'll be really curious to see how having multiple people in a party adds to that. Like, say if you have one person cooking and you have everyone else doing other activities, how does that play into things? And again, it also I'd also be curious how it plays out if you have two people doing the same activity, if you can do that, or if it's like the Yawhg, where if the first person takes an activity, no one else can do that. I think my biggest concern right about now is how difficulty increases. I died once, you know, but it felt like that combat was still within my hands. I didn't feel overly burdened. And how that gets balanced for multiplayer play will impact the game quite a lot. I don't know if this is a game people will want to buy for solo play. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's more going to be multiplayer. But as I said, if you really get excited about creating a story, if like the Yawhg, this will be completely up your street. If I had to give a score as a first impression score, I would give this a somewhere between about a 6.5 or a 7.5 or 7, because it's okay, and I don't mean that in a bad, satisfactory way, but I mean okay in the sense that it is a strong side of okay, in the sense that unless if you really have that story aspect to it, like unless if you're really interested in creating a story, I'm not sure this is going to click. In addition, there is also that niggling problem where I'm curious if with repetitive play it'll still hold people's interest. I mean, they do have a progression system, they do have a purpose of why you would play through over and over again, which is unlocking constellations, unlocking recipes, unlocking unlocking different adventures, unlocking the characters, unlocking costumes, things like that. They have these reasons to keep revisiting it. But I'm not sure how successful it's going to be. I think it might get tiresome after a short while. God damn it, just spilled tea on myself. I better close this up then, so I can clean my trousers of tea. Anyway, at that, so thanks for watching. You can check out the written review below, as well find my Twitter access. I'm also now doing a series called Off the Books Reviews, where I review games in a small series. I post those every Tuesday and Friday. They're each about half an hour, and then they end on a review. They're not intended to be taken as formal reviews, but, you know, they're a nice guide of, okay, if you want a video review, it's there. At that, thanks for watching, and Bye!